I will turn to a little more complicated issues, but let's start with something easy, something simple. Atheism. Have you noticed that Jordan Peterson actually shares more with atheists than he does with traditionally religious people? Well, for one, he's not taking the Bible literally. He's largely reading it in a metaphorical way. Now, I don't know the exact statistics, but I mean, Sam is more literate on the polls that have been done. And the only point that I see Sam making is that the major issues is that most people, if you just look at the statistics, most people simply factually are not reading these texts in a metaphorical way or in a transrational way, to put it in Wilber's terms, but most of them are actually reading them in pre-rational or rational terms at best. And that simply seems to be a fact. I mean, I'm not competent in the numbers, but I guess if we just ask these specific questions, this specific question to Jordan and to Sam, what is your estimation? What percentage of people are fundamentalists, as Jordan calls them? He basically calls everyone a fundamentalist who is applying the Bible, all Holy Scriptures, to the right quadrants. This is everyone who is interpreting the major concepts to apply to the right quadrants. In the eyes of Jordan Peterson, is a fundamentalist, because they are treating it as a quasi-scientific theory, which according to him it is not. So if, for example, for you heaven is something that is to be found in the right quadrants, this is something that can be observed, which would mean heaven is something like in the sky. By the way, it's nice that English has this distinction between sky and heaven. German, for example, just uses one word. And the tendency is that people really think that heaven is something that is up in the sky. It's something that is extrasensory in a sense. And the word doesn't even make them realize that it might be something that is within them, in their own consciousness. So if you apply the concept on the right quadrant, for you heaven is basically sky. For you the jihad is really literally war. It's not something that you apply to consciousness. Integral theory, on the other hand, applies all the major concepts that we find in the Holy Scriptures, everything from the resurrection to reincarnation to the left quadrants. The integral theory uses these stories as allegories that tell you more about how we experience the world and how we make sense of the world than as teaching us about how the world is as independent of consciousness. So if we just ask the question to Sam Harris and Jordan Peterson, well, what do you think? How many people of those who consider themselves to be religious are fundamentalists in this sense, as Jordan defines it, are applying these concepts to the right quadrants? They might even agree on the numbers, and I guess the numbers are not looking that good. I guess somewhat around 90% of all people are not aware that there is a distinction between faith and belief. Belief is propositional, just as knowledge is. Faith, on the other hand, is transrational or transpersonal. It is not something that is propositional or built on specific beliefs. Faith is something that remains even when all your specific beliefs have gone. This is what you find in the mystical literature. Faith is not something that you have based on a specific promise that all things will be fine or whatever. Faith is a specific form of non-propositional realization. I can't go into this into detail, but I'm pretty sure that most people are not aware that faith and belief are the true opposites and not belief and knowledge. Belief and knowledge are much more similar to each other. And we could go on and ask this about all the major concepts of religious scriptures. How many people apply them on the right quadrants, and how many religious people apply them on the left quadrants? I'm pretty sure it's a very small minority who are mystics and who don't commit category errors.